Hello, everybody. Welcome.
What's up, idiots?
Fucking damn it. Welcome to Road to Endgame, the GamerAccess.com's Marvel movie podcast, where we discuss a different Marvel movie, sometimes two, each week up until Avengers Endgame comes out at the end of April.
It's like crazy if you're on episode 6 of this thing and you don't know what we're doing.
I mean, I guess maybe if they hopped in, like... someone had to have hopped into the Iron Man 2 episode last 2 weeks ago.
All right.
Because we got a dislike.
Yeah. If you if you're just joining us now on episode 6, then go back and watch the other ones because this is like a recap of Phase 1 effectively. Or not a recap, but like the cap on Phase 1.
We're gonna rank them, do all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
So, this movie, I want to talk about the historical context for it real quick. And that's, they did it, man.
Yeah.
They managed to...
It seems like, okay, this movie came out in 2012, which for a lot of people was like when they were kids.
Don't say that.
But I was 19 when this movie came out, and nothing else had happened like this.
2012, it was in spring 2012, so I was 21.
Yeah.
I was ending my sophomore year of college.
But, oh shit. Oh god. Okay, anyway. Sorry, that was a yawn. Like, they came out with the 5 movies that we have already talked about, and then they did this. And, like, back in, like, 2007, when at Comic-Con they announced that they were doing Iron Man, they'd begun teasing that they were going to do the Avengers. And then he said, let me tell you about the Avengers Initiative at the end of Iron Man 1.
And you just don't fucking lose it.
And then now we're here. We've got Captain America, Thor, Hulk, Iron Man, Black Widow, Hawkeye.
I took notes on
all those motherfuckers on the poster. I didn't take notes. And it happened. And when it came out, it was like mind-blowing that we got all these characters together in one thing.
The fact that they pulled it, because nothing like this was ever really done before.
Yeah.
This was like the first time this kind of shit happened. And at the time, it was a little mind-blowing.
Yeah, it was crazy.
It was the like, when you got that scene, which we'll get to later, where it does the fucking camera pan around all of them. Like, back then... Like, now, like, we have shit like Infinity War, and, like, all these movies are crossing over, and, like, you have Falcon and fucking Ant-Man, and...
Right.
You know, like, it's no big deal to see, like, oh, one hero crossover with another. And, like, to have something like Civil War or Avengers.
I remember back when this came out, everybody was like, why is Spider-Man not in the Avengers? Well, I remember, like, normies were like, where's Batman or Superman? Because Superman had a movie coming out the following year, and Batman had a movie coming out this same year.
Yeah.
And they were like, why are they not in this? Now it's kind of like, you're a fucking moron if you don't know the difference between Marvel and DC. But back in around this time, it was all Marvel.
Big fucking nerds like us.
Yeah, they were all just comic book movies. Otherwise, like, you were... Now, like... Everybody just looks everything up on Wikipedia and then pretends that they've read the stories.
I thought this shit was gonna bomb so hard.
What, Avengers?
Yeah.
I did not.
I thought.
Well, you thought it was gonna be bad?
I thought it was gonna be fucking trash, and then but.
Oh no, dude! I was ready for it.
I'll be a minute. Like, Marvel, outside of Spider-Man, I've only read a few stories. I've read all of fucking Spider-Man, but I've read very little of the rest of his shit.
It's well documented that I'm definitely more Team DC than Marvel. That's not to say I don't like Marvel. I definitely swing for the other team, you know?
I've started reading more Marvel, and I'm just very picky with it. Like, I don't like the comic version of Guardians of the Galaxy.
I don't like a lot of... That's the thing is, like, I found a lot of Marvel comics tend to be very, like... just, like, convoluted for no reason, and, like... A lot of the...
Fucking Clone Saga, bro.
The way the characters work varies so greatly from, like, writer to writer. And you could say the same about DC, but I think there's, like, this inherent iconography with every character in DC that, like, you really can't write Batman any other way and make him not sound like Batman. You can't really write Superman and make him not sound like Superman, you know what I mean? Like, whereas Iron Man, like... two different writers can write Iron Man, and he will sound completely fucking different.
How much of a dick is he this time?
Yeah,
that's kind of how it comes off with him.
How like funny is the writer gonna try to make him?
Yeah.
Like ever since Robert Downey Jr. took the role, it's like now he's like associated with being funny, and I'm like, you guys are missing the fact that like a lot of what makes Iron Man's jokes sell in this is just Robert Downey Jr.'s charisma and delivery. Mm-hmm. It's like that's what I don't know. That even in this movie, like this was kind of the first movie where I started to kind of feel like Robert Downey Jr. was losing interest in Iron Man a little bit. He's done 3 of these things up to this point. Like this is his 4th appearance in the MCU. He's
yeah, because he has that small thing in Hulk.
Yeah, he's down for it, but also like it's not his movie, and he seems to be getting like a little bit exhausted by the role by this point. And I think at this point it was like he's got Iron Man 3 and then we're done, right? And this is where people started to talk about his contract expiring, which has been an ongoing conversation the whole fucking time.
Fucking every time it renews for one more show.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like I said, I read all of Spider-Man. Right. I enjoyed Spider-Man, and then like the rest of DC over the years, I've just kind of like faded in and out. Like I like some Doctor Strange, I like some Iron Man.
The rest of Marvel.
Yeah, the rest of Marvel. DC, I kind of have like, I like most of their mainstays. Like I like Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Martian Manhunter is sick.
Yeah. DC's got a lot of like I said, for them it's a lot of like the iconography. Like you grow up, I mean for us like it wasn't hard to find a t-shirt with the Flash on it, whereas like it was impossible to find a t-shirt with fucking Captain America on it.
Dude, like what? Like it's such a switch these days.
It is, yeah.
Like
I mean it's not hard to find t-shirts with the Flash on it anymore, but just the fact that Captain America is fucking everywhere is insane.
Yeah, like back then, like is when the switch really happened, especially because DC hadn't anything going on for a little bit.
They had like the Dark Knight series, which was huge,
like,
but
yeah,
like
you could like find Batman.
Yeah, Batman was fucking everywhere.
But like fucking Superman, Green Lantern,
and Spider-Man Spider-Man's Marvel, but it was like not MCU.
Yeah.
So Spider-Man was still like pretty popping at that point.
Spider-Man was kind of everywhere for like DC, but like it was really weird to like go into stores and see like kids like not grow up with like Justice League and Justice League Unlimited and Batman and Superman series.
I think that might be a big part of it for people our age too, is that like those cartoons like Batman the Animated Series, Superman
were so fucking good.
Yeah, those Teen Titans, these were all like really solid shows, whereas like Marvel didn't really have.
They had
X-Men, and then like some people remember the Spider-Man cartoon from the 90s fondly, but it's trash.
I haven't watched it recently, but I liked it as a kid.
It's garbage. It's hot fucking steamy
garbage. How many
garbage.
Episodes is that? I
don't want to think about it.
Do I want to really commit to watching that to come on a podcast?
Side note, me, Yuko and I, friend of the show, Yuko and I have been watching Power Rangers.
Uh-huh.
Like Mighty Morphin.
Yeah, okay.
My God. The first 5 episodes, they like constantly make mention of the fact that these kids are teenagers with attitude.
That feels like the worst possible candidates for people to save the world.
Right, he's like, we need to and like, he actually says, he's like, we need to recruit a team of teenagers with attitude. And like, I'm like, all teenagers have attitude. Except these ones. They're so vanilla. But anyway.
They help out the rec center.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
They teach martial arts to fucking nerds, like...
You should have got Bulk and Skull.
Bro. Anyway, you and Ray need to cosplay Bulk and Skull, I'm telling you. You guys fit the bill.
Sure, but, why not?
Obviously, yes. Ray is Bulk. Anyway, so the Avengers, the hype was real around it, and then... I remember like going to the midnight show for this when they had midnight shows, when it wasn't 7 o'clock shows the night before.
Yeah, that was weird.
Like, I'm starting to sound like all the old people I hate, but
we are becoming the old people you hate,
right? But I mean, like, I remember going to the midnight show for this thing, and like, I remember this was the first Marvel movie, the first like MCU movie that they didn't have collectible Slurpee cups for. Mm-hmm. I was pissed. Because that was my favorite fucking thing. Like, summer movies come out, and I bought every single one of those fucking Slurpee cups up until this one. Now I don't have any. Because I got mad. Because I was like, they always come out with four different characters on it. And guess who's fucking top billing the shit out of this movie? You got Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, and the Hulk. What the fuck? Why am I the only one thinking about this? Why am I the only one that's upset about this?
I remember watching the beginning of this movie, and I think I remember and this will start a discussion on the actual movie. I was like, God, the first fucking 10 minutes of this are so fucking boring.
Avengers?
Yeah.
I remember being like in the theater watching this and going like, all right, if nobody has seen the other movies, they're just jumping right into the middle of an episode of a TV show.
Yeah, that's definitely like...
That's my major problem with this movie is that so much of it... I think that's by virtue of like Joss Whedon being a TV writer primarily.
And I think they're also like... This movie is 100% is betting on the fact, at minimum, you have watched Thor and Iron Man.
Yeah.
At bare minimum.
And Captain America.
Yeah.
Some of the plot points in this would not make sense if you didn't have Captain America.
The Tesseract. So, like, you could have skipped Hulk, and you could have skipped Iron Man 2.
Yeah.
But you, at minimum, have need to see honestly, the three, kind of top billing guys from Marvel.
Yeah. So, my whole takeaway from this is that, like, Joss Whedon being a TV writer, this movie feels like a TV show.
Probably might be one of the reasons why I liked it a lot.
The writing in it feels very like, were it not for the people that portray these characters, the writing would be trashed in this movie. People would have fucking hated it. But if these guys didn't deliver it the way they did, like, there's a scene where like fucking Banner, who, like, by the way, for me is the best part of the movie. Like Mark Ruffalo
feels like they realized they fucked up the Hulk movie and they kind of built a Hulk movie into this.
I just also think like Edward Norton's a good actor, but Mark Ruffalo is a much better fit for Bruce Banner, and I thought his performance in this in particular was like fascinating. I don't know, there was something very like inherent about his portrayal, but there's a scene where Banner is like, they're all sitting there arguing in the throne room, or in the room, in the science room, and like it doesn't make sense why they start arguing in the first place, except that they find out that Nick Fury is like holding on to Hydra weapons because they're planning on building new weapons with it. I don't know. It's like it's a really weak plot point to make.
They're planning to use the Tesseract to build weapons.
It's a very weak plot point to make them not trust each other. That doesn't really. It kind of falls apart if you like think about it too much.
Yeah.
And then Banner's like, you put me in that cage to have me killed, which, by the way, wouldn't have worked because I tried that once. Yeah, I put a bullet in myself and then the other guy spat it back up. And then he starts talking about, like, how he ended up in Calcutta and everything, and I'm like, why did I need all this? Like, I didn't need to know why Bruce Banner was in Calcutta. In the Hulk movie, he was, like, running around the whole fucking world. Mm-hmm. I don't need to know why he's in Calcutta. Like, just trim the fat. It doesn't, and Joss Whedon is, like, notorious about, like, trying to add, like, wit and quips to characters to, like, just make us give a shit about them or think that they're, like, interesting or entertaining, and, like, I don't know. I think that's definitely one of the movie's weaker points is the dialogue.
I'd agree with that. Like, it is largely carried by really good actors.
Yeah.
Like, fuck it. Like, you looked at the billing for this and it's like, these are all so fucking good actors.
I will say, fucking Jeremy Renner got boned in this movie. Like, Hawkeye was shit.
Yeah.
I feel so fucking bad for him because, like, he doesn't start getting, like, really badass until, like, Civil War, which is, like, a trash movie.
Well,
so, I don't know.
I'm looking forward to our discussion on that one in, like, 8 weeks.
I know, because I have very strong opinions about Civil War.
Yeah.
Very strong.
And I came out of that movie being like, yeah, that was alright.
I came out of that movie being like, yeah, that was alright, but the more I've watched it, anyway, we'll talk about it in that
like, just the beginning of this movie, like, up until, I would say, like, you get Captain America's appearance, I was kind of bored.
Yeah.
I will say, I did take note here, yay, not Edward Norton.
Yeah.
Because when I take notes for this shit, I literally just whatever runs through my mind.
Right.
And, like, literally, for fucking Hulk's appearance, yay, not Edward Norton.
Right.
Yeah, like, I like how they're, like, they did that cut to Captain America that was, like, you know, just, like, that was a nice little, you know...
Cap's suit in this movie looks so dumb.
Oh.
This is like the movie where he looks the worst.
Yeah.
I don't know what the costume department was thinking. But like...
Well, especially because everyone else looks so fucking good.
Yeah,
too.
Cap just looks... He just looks like shit.
Um...
And I remember, like, they made comments about it in the movie. They were like... Coulson was like, I've made some upgrades to your suit. And he's like, the suit? And then, they have the whole...
Isn't this a little old-fashioned? Maybe the world needs a little old-fashioned now.
Dumb exchange. Dumb exchange.
Coulson's a Captain America fanboy. I was actually...
Yeah, but I mean, like... Well, not that. I just mean, like, the actual words that were said.
Oh, yeah.
It's dumb. I didn't like it. But I mean, like...
But, by the way, is it just me, or is every time I see fucking Colby Smulders in one of these movies...
She's hot.
A, she's hot.
She's a babe.
And B, I think of, like, God damn it. I just think...
Fucking Robin.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Just like, oh yeah, that summer your Aunt Robin was with the Avengers.
Yeah.
Like, that's immediately where my mind goes.
I think of Robin too, but I also think she's a babe.
Yeah, agree.
She's a babe.
A+. Same thing with Black Widow.
She has kind of a big role in this. She has kind of a, like, nothing role in the rest of them.
Yeah, until supposedly
I think
Far From Home.
Yeah.
Supposedly she's going to have a role in that.
Yeah.
She was tweeting about it.
That'd be cool. It'd be cool to see her back. She kind of, like, briefly appears in Infinity War, but otherwise...
Yeah, very end. Yeah. Yeah. So, I do like...
I love Black Widow in this.
Yeah, she's great.
Love
her intro scene is so
I hate it.
good.
Okay, I love hate it. I love hate it. I hate how, like, overtly, like, sexy they're trying to make it, and I know why. I get why in the context of the movie it's, like, overtly sexy. It just feels gross to me. But then the fact that she just, like, completely beats the shit out of him. She's like, I'm in the middle of an interrogation and this guy is giving me everything, even though she's chained up to the chair. That was cool. Yeah.
Like, I
just don't think Joss Whedon knows how to write women. At all. I
will say I love how they intro every character in this.
Yeah.
Like,
that's pretty cool.
Like, I love how the way they introduce Captain America with the fucking punching bags, and, like, Iron Man at Stark Tower, and, like...
He does a lot of the same stuff in Justice League.
Good.
He gives you a little bit of everything, every character.
Good. One day I will watch that movie, I swear.
I'm sure you'll dig it. I'm sure you'll dig it fine. It's not perfect.
I'm sure I'll probably enjoy it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, like, I just kind of love how this movie just, like, realizes, like, alright, this movie is a celebration that this thing just exists. So let's just lean into this shit a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's fucking like, that first forest fight between Thor and Iron Man.
That was cool.
Just like...
That was cool, but so much of that was, like, the banter between Iron Man and Thor.
Doth mother know you are wearing her drapes?
Yeah.
Like...
Shakespeare in the Park.
Yeah, just fucking hits him with thunder power at 400%. How about that?
Yeah.
Just... and then just you got to see, like, Captain America come in and the hammer hits the fucking shield.
Yeah, it was hype.
I was just like...
It was hype.
Like,
definitely, like, pure wish fulfillment.
Like, shit like that is why it's so easy to overlook so many of the problems in this film for me, because, like, I'm just like...
Yeah, I mean, ultimately,
so
like, anything I can bitch about with, like, the writing and everything, like, doesn't ultimately matter, because you still have fun with it.
Like, that was kind of, like, my entire, like, my entire thing with it is just, like, I have a fucking laundry list of, like, fucking problems here, but it's also, like, followed up with, like, funny line I really enjoyed, or holy shit, that was awesome.
Yeah.
And that's kind of, like, that goes against and for it for me in weird ways. Like,
for me, it, like, never... I mean, again, we were talking about it before, but, like, maybe it's just because I've seen this movie a whole bunch, or maybe it's because like I don't have that same like level of hype for this one as I did back in the day. But like this movie never ascends past like that was pretty cool, or it was cool to see them do that. You know, I mean, again, these are a lot of moments and like characters coming together that we never thought we were gonna get. But now we've seen it a bunch.
By the way, did you notice this? Loki, when he first enters in Germany and puts the crown on and everything, they do a Dutch angle.
No, I don't think I was paying attention
Stephanie
to that point.
pointed it out to me. Like I was watching...
Oh, that's another dumb line that happens. Like, Cap shows up and he's like, last time I was in Germany and a man was standing over everybody. It didn't end very well.
I love that. I was just
Hated
like,
that line.
I was just like, yep, that's Captain America.
I don't know.
Yep.
It's too...
That's so Captain America.
I don't know. You could have put a better line there. You could have made a better intro line. Like, he's like, look at me, I'm a cheeky bastard, but what he's actually saying just doesn't sound like a real person's thing to say.
But, like, man, how great was that when Iron Man came into AC/DC?
Yeah.
That was...
That was great.
That was another, like...
See, that's this movie for me. Like, here's a stupid line, here's a dumb bit of story, you know, here's a stupid exhibition, here's a cool thing.
Like,
you know, like, here's a dumb moment, dumb moment, great moment, dumb moment, great moment.
And, like, for me, I think it's, like, 2-to-1. Like, oh, this is a really funny or a really cool moment to, like, that was annoying.
I think it's, like, 1-to-1 for me. Like,
yeah, and I think that shows in our level of enjoyment. Like, I loved Coulson in this entire movie.
I thought Coulson was great.
I loved him fanboy. I loved him with the guys like, I don't know what this does.
Yeah, I love that.
I like how he finally gets to shoot him after he stabs. Like,
I still know what. Or now, so that's what it does.
Oh, that's what it does.
Yeah, I thought that was cool. I thought, yeah, I don't know. I guess because I like, in the grand scheme of things, like now, in retrospect, which I guess is what this whole series is.
Yeah, and like refreshing ourselves because like
yeah.
Most of these movies I haven't seen since they fucking came out.
Right, so it's like stacking them up against like our
like
expectations for them or what we like perceive them as.
I caught it. Anyway,
punk bitch.
That one was not the phone, that was the tablet.
But anyway,
like, and here's the thing, like, I'm probably gonna be a lot more lenient on this movie because I've seen it like 3 times in the years it's been out, and once was 3 weeks ago.
6 years.
Jesus fucking Christ. Versus
6 years, yeah.
Versus like Guardians of the Galaxy, where I'm gonna be super harsh because I've watched that movie a million fucking times.
Yeah, I think my thing is like, I mean, I bitch about movies a lot, but I think it's important to scrutinize the media that we consume.
Absolutely.
So for me, that's...
Boy, I'm a game critic.
I know that sounds kind of pretentious, but I do think it's...
I get it. Like I said, I'm a game critic.
Right. I think it's important to like critically look at art, and for me, like, the biggest problem I could say about this movie, and it's not even really a problem, it's like just my own personal takeaway from it, is that like not enough of it was like interesting enough to like keep me at the edge of my seat beyond just like, oh look, there's Captain America fighting against Thor, and oh look, the Hulk just caught Iron Man as he was careening from the sky. Like, that's so badass. Like, I can't believe we just saw that in live action, even though it was all CG. But like,
I think that like
outside of that, like, there's just not enough to captivate me.
For me, it's what really sums it up is like the third act onward. Like, the third act is just so fucking killer in this movie that like I agree with you, because the first 2 acts I like, just looking at my notes, I'm like, good thing, bad thing, good thing, bad thing, good thing, bad thing, all through the first 2 acts. But then you have that scene where it goes to like Nick Fury being like, yes, we were building weapons, we had a secondary plan. Stark knows about it. He just tells them about the Avengers initiative,
right?
And it's fucking like Tony suiting up and everyone's suiting up and Thor getting his fucking lightning back, and like the Battle of New York starts, and literally all of these notes are like, fuck, that was awesome, fuck, that was cool,
right?
Like, what is happening? You know, like, also funny, like that line, that's my secret, Cap, I'm always angry.
I still think that's a dumb line.
But it works!
I thought it was a dumb line when I saw it in the movie theater. I was like, how does it work? Where does that make sense? His secret is that he's always angry? What does that... That's
how we can, like, trigger it on go.
The problem is that they build it up so much. It's just another example of, like, dumb writing that would have been, like, horrible if it was, like, any other actor.
I also, like, love the... Like how this, I'm pretty sure this is the only full transformation we get on.
Oh, dude, I was watching I went and saw Aquaman again today, and they played the Endgame trailer, which I've seen about 1 million times at this point. And every single time they play that trailer, this is just on the note of dumb lines.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's that scene where fucking Black Widow and Captain America are, like, on the ship or whatever they're on, and they're like, she's like, this is gonna work, Steve, and he's like, I know it does. Or I know it will, because I don't know what I'm going to do if it doesn't. And I'm like, that's not a fucking lie. That just doesn't make any sense. I get what he's saying. I know the point of the line. It's just a dumb line.
Just Brandon, you just need to embrace the cheesiness.
It's just a stupid line.
It's really
in my dark, serious superhero movie where everything is on the line.
That one I will give you. This one I'm like, dude.
This is overall it's a very corny movie.
The cheesiness plays so well in this, and like
it definitely doesn't make me feel like it's out of place. I just like I'm not gonna sit here and be okay with like that's my secret, Cap. I'm always angry.
Dude,
it's
no, I loved it. It's
like the don't make me angry. You won't like me when I'm angry. Like, dude, come on. We can write this character better. We can write this character better. He was better written in this movie. I really unabashedly fucking adore Mark Ruffalo's Bruce Banner in this. I think he's fucking fantastic.
He's great in all of them.
To me, he's the standout in this one of the whole thing because I have. At this point, when this movie came out, my favorite Avenger was Thor because I thought he was the most entertaining. But in retrospect or in hindsight, like Mark Ruffalo's performance in this is the most engaging, and maybe it's because it's his first time doing it. But
I also think that part of it is the fact that they kind of write it as kind of like a Hulk movie a little bit. There's a lot of focus in here on the fucking Hulk.
Yeah.
But yeah, like...
I like Loki a lot. I like that he's just like this scenery-chewing fucking badass that just like shows up and like talks all this shit and then gets his ass whooped.
Like that...
Not really a badass.
Yeah, that shot downtown, we all know it. That amazing theme that goes with it. Thor on the Empire State Building with the fucking lightning.
Yeah.
The team-up stuff. Puny God.
Yeah. It's all good. I think... So, I don't know. Yeah, it's a good cheesy fun movie. That's all it is. It's just fun.
So there are two things I actually wanted to do. We did get a little bit of character development for Iron Man.
A little bit.
Yeah. That was nice. Like because
the sacrifice thing.
Yeah, like because a lot of his whole character was just like I can fucking A, do it all on my own, and B, like just. Kind of selfish in a way, and like Captain America points out, like you're not the dude who's gonna make the fucking sacrifice. And he does, and that was like that was a nice little bit of character development for him. Stan Lee cameo was it was cute.
It was fun.
Superheroes in New York, get out of here. And then that ending with Nick Fury talking to the shady government peeps. You get the early version of the Avengers Tower.
Yeah.
Bad CGI Thanos. Really bad CGI Thanos.
A lot of the CG in this is super hit and miss.
And then, that's kind of it. So, what would you rate it out of 5 here?
I'd put it at 3.5.
Okay. Solid 4 for me.
I'd put it at 3.5. Like, for me, it's like... So much of Phase 1 was so good because... Like, they really took care with the writing and the plotting. It felt like every character needed to be, like, interesting and we had to, like, really get to know these people. And, like, in this one, I know kind of the point is that we already know these people, so now let's put them together. But I feel like the only characters I was like interested in were Banner and Black Widow. Otherwise, like I just don't care enough about the characters or what's going on to like really be like interested. So it was like too much fun to like not enjoy.
I like for me it's like I treat it as very much just like, oh, this is the cap off to all those other movies, and like you know, my first like I said, those first two acts, like I was having a good time, but it was very much like on off.
Yeah.
And then during the helicopter carrier was a little more on, and then like once that Avengers Initiative talk Nick Fury has for the rest of the movie.
To me, like, the movie
like, I had to, like, sit down and, like, calm myself the fuck down.
Right.
From giving it a 5 and be like, look at my notes for a minute. Like, okay, no, it's obviously a 4.
Bronson's very easy to please. That's, I guess, what he's saying.
When it comes to film, yeah.
Yeah. I'm a little bit more, like, I scrutinize a little bit more.
I'm far meaner to video games. You know. But I think that's part of just like
caring a little bit more about video games.
I care more about video games, and also like I have not been critiquing film for over a decade.
Right.
You know, so like I don't know what to look for. I just like, did I enjoy the movie, and was something so good or so bad that it didn't stick out?
For me, I tend to think about okay, like in film critiquing, I hate the like nitpicky bullshit where you sit there and you like pick apart every tiny little detail that doesn't make sense to you. That's like a very nerdy thing to do that like drives me crazy. Like that's like a thing that I guess kind of like quote unquote started with the nostalgia critic in his film reviews, and I'm a fan, but I never really agree with him, and that's not why I watch him. I don't watch him to get legit reviews, but I hate the nitpicky thing, and I hate like having to like fucking obsess over every single little plot hole. But that being said, like I pay attention to things that are like really gaping plot holes, and I also for me like a movie is successful if I feel something about it, and like the movie manages to achieve making me feel a certain way about things, I guess. Like
I would agree with that.
So I tend to look at stuff like that. I'm like, what is the movie trying to get me to feel, and is it working? Like,
you know, fair enough.
Again, perfect example of this. Bronson hasn't seen it yet, but Broly, fucking,
I'm ready. I'm ready, boy.
I'm here to tell you that I don't think you are.
I
don't think you are. I think you're gonna get a different movie than you expect to.
And then a week from that, we get the new characters for Dragon Ball FighterZ.
Yeah, but I care a lot less about that right now than this.
Broly
is like, trust me when I say like, this isn't a Broly podcast. We could do one.
We will,
but
I'm sure.
I'm sure whatever the next fucking.
We just pop on and do a movie podcast next week. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, but back to I like, and the thing is like I know how to critique books for story because I was a fucking English major and read far too many, and same with the comics because I've even written comics and then wrote Jesus, and then games because I've been doing it for so long. Critiquing movie story, it's a new fucking new territory for me.
Right.
But like the holes I saw in this movie, like I was just like I enjoyed it too much to like be like, because
that I think is the major thing. Like too many people get too hung up on like mistakes that movies make, and they don't think enough about why it matters. Like if a movie is not entertaining enough to like distract you from its mistakes, then it failed. If a movie's like not, if it's not engaging enough, to me, like that's the biggest problem with this movie is that like it's fun and entertaining, but it's not engaging enough for me. So like I'm not very stimulated by anything that's going on. I just kind of like watch it and I'm like, yeah, that's fun, and then I stop watching it and I just stop caring.
I mean, that's fair.
Like, I'm still thinking about Broly, and it's been a day. And I've seen, like, I went and saw Aquaman again, and I'm still thinking about Broly.
And I think for me,
That's
like...
going to be my Breath of the Wild for this year, I can already tell. Like, no movie is going to stack up to this for me, I think. We'll see. I mean, the year's still young. I will say, like, had that movie come out last year, or had I gone to the LA premiere, that would be my favorite movie that came out last year.
Okay.
Like, easily. It might not resonate the same way with you, because Spider-Verse and Infinity War were big, but for me, like, yeah. Anyway.
But anyway, back to what,
ranking the MCU?
Yeah, let's rank them. Let's rank the Stan Lee cameos and then call it a day.
Yeah.
So I'm
not gonna rank the Stan Lee cameos. I'll just let you do it.
Okay.
They're all kind of on the same level to me.
So you gave a oh yeah, would you rate? Well, you forgot to rate. We both forgot to rate the Stan Lee cameo. I give it a 3.
3.
Yeah, it's a good.
They're
one.
all kind of a 3.
There are a couple that make me just like, okay, that was fucking awesome.
So far though, I think they're all about the same. I don't want to rank them.
So, all right. So you give the movie a 3.5. I gave it a 4.
Yeah.
So let's rank them. So what is your bottom of this barrel? What's the worst of the 6?
4. No, Incredible Hulk.
Well, yeah, that movie's trash.
Hulk. I forgot about it.
Oh, fuck almighty, was that movie bad.
I forgot about it, and that's how bad it was.
I fucking, like...
So...
It was worse than I remembered.
Yeah. Well, moving on. We already did the podcast.
Yeah.
Let's just rank it so we can get this over with.
Yeah.
I want to go home.
Number 5 for you. What is it?
Thor.
Same. Good visually, cool visually.
Right.
Not enough
going on.
All the stuff on Earth just sucks.
Yeah.
Like, anyway. Most of it. So yeah, but overall, but like good stuff on Asgard. I wanted more Odin.
Yeah. Number 4.
Number 4, for me, I'd go Iron Man 2.
Yeah, I'd give it Iron Man 2.
Iron Man 2, okay. Yeah, it was a great flick. Just, you know.
This is where we're going to start drastically differing, I think.
All right,
we'll see, actually.
Where's your number 3?
Probably this, Avengers.
For me, it's Iron Man.
I'd put this at number 3.
Yeah, that's the split. Because I think we have the same number 1 then.
Maybe,
Because my number 2 is Iron Man, and then my number 1 is Cap.
No, your number 2 would be Avengers if number 3
number 2 is Avengers, then number 1 is Cap.
Yeah, that's the split then, because number 2 is Iron Man for me. I just think Iron Man's more interesting than the Avengers, and I care a lot more about what's going on in Iron Man than I do in Avengers. I think the third act in Iron Man is really weak, but I think the first 2 acts more than make up for it. Whereas, like, in this one, the third act is stronger than the first 2, but not strong enough to, like, make me feel like... Oh, the first 2 weren't interesting enough to make me feel like the payoff was worth it.
I feel like these are, like, similar in the sense that, like, 1/3 of both these movies is not great.
Right.
It's just when it happens, and I could swap them at any point, but, like, looking back on them both, like, the reason I have Avengers above it is just, like, I love Iron Man. You fucking know I love Iron Man. But there were so many moments in Avengers, a lot of which involve Iron Man, where I'm just like, fuck, that was cool.
Yeah.
Fuck, that was so awesome. And yeah, so...
Well, so, like, I was at Anime Los Angeles last weekend, and I was talking to this guy about these, like, Phase 1 Marvel movies, and I've been, like, going through them to, like, do this show. And I was talking about how, like, people shit on a lot of Phase 1. Like, because it is. Like, people do shit on a lot of Phase 1 in retrospect, which is weird to me because they're... Some of these, like, at least right now, are kind of better than some later...
After going through these hold up pretty well. Like...
So, like, I was like, for example, like, Thor... Pretty mixed bag, but overall, like, not a completely garbage movie like everybody says it is. Captain America is, like, one of the ones that's, like, shit on the most, and, like...
that movie's great!
Yeah,
I fucking love that movie.
So far, out of the 6 that we've watched, it's my favorite.
Yeah, that movie's fucking fire.
I don't have really any complaints about Captain America.
I
remember, like... We were talking about it, and I was like, "Yeah, not a whole lot of."
I have a couple, but like they're so small that they're fucking might as well not even be there.
Right.
And then so yeah, like a lot of people shit on Phase 1, man, but after like, and like I fucking like cringed at like, oh, I have to buy Phase 1.
Yeah.
But like, no, I'm very glad I own all these now. Like, yeah very.
Hulk.
Yeah, that one.
Well, I guess even then, like, you're probably glad you have it as a part of your set.
Yeah, just it's like, oh, I own all of Phase 1, including Hulk.
I tweeted out something last week that was something to the effect of, like, how much would it suck to be Mark Ruffalo and know that you're never going to get a Marvel movie of your own?
Unless they do what they did. Well, you know what? We got a deal with Sony for Spider-Man, so we might get a deal with Universal for Hulk.
I mean, they already have that deal with Universal for Hulk, but I don't think Universal's going to let them produce a Hulk movie for them. They've already got enough tentpoles, whereas, like, Sony's, like, big franchise is Spider-Man. That's the only reason why they're not outright selling it back to Marvel.
Real quick aside, that Far From Home trailer, boy.
Far From Home looks good.
Yeah,
Far From Home looks good.
When Nick Fury showed up, I was like, oh!
Yeah, that looks cool.
Nice to finally meet you, Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Like, I was just like, oh,
super
fuck.
Cool. Looks great.
So, yeah, no, this first...
Bro, that John Wick 3 trailer.
Didn't get to see it yet.
Oh, my God.
So...
I'll tell you what, they have a lot of great trailers out right now. I saw the Toy Story 4 trailer for the first time with Broly.
Oh, no, I haven't watched it either.
Weird teaser.
Huh. So, this...
Weird teaser. I would watch it. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, this Phase 1, like, it's a little rough at points, but yeah, it still holds up. We start Phase 2 next week with Iron Man 3.
Alright.
I am so excited to talk about this movie because I remember really liking this movie.
Yeah, I remember really enjoying it.
And people really shitting on this movie. And
people still hate it.
They're fucking dumb.
They hate it.
Well, they're probably... I don't know. I might come be...
I know by the end of this, my least favorite of all of these goddamn Marvel movies is going to be Thor: The Dark World.
Mine's going to be Thor 2 or Hulk.
It's going to be Thor 2 for me, like, for sure. Because I left that movie theater and I, like, completely forgot literally everything I just saw. I, like, retained nothing.
I have a feeling that if this podcast continues to gain ground, like, we're actually getting, like, natural likes and dislikes. Like, my opinion of Iron Man 3 is going to be very divisive because, like, if what my memory tells me is right, that movie's fucking incredible.
Right.
So, yeah, that's it for Phase 1. Avengers.
I think y'all should start talking about these movies that we've watched. Maybe watch them with us. Maybe we should make this like a movie club thing. Like, watch the movies, like, before next week, watch Iron Man 3. Yeah. And then when we go to talk about it in the comments.
For sure. And
start having a conversation about it. Maybe we'll engage a little bit.
Yeah. I'm more than happy to respond to you on...
Bronson you're pretty much in control of he's got the keys to the kingdom, so and engage with us on Twitter too, like
TV's Brandon Smith.
At TV's Brandon Smith, at Gamecraft.
With a K.
Yeah.
Like Mortal Kombat.
Like Mortal Gamecraft.
Yep.
So
what a disappointing game that would be.
Yeah.
And we'll be next week, guys.
Bronson at his desk chair.
Playing Dragon Ball. Yep.
Yeah.
Anyway,
we'll be back next week with fucking Iron Man...
Trace. Iron Man Trace.
Get me out of this house.